Welcome back to Levasseur Outdoors. I'm Steph. And yes, it's been a minute or two since I last published a video, but I've been busy. I fished in the CFN Fish Off, which is a virtual tournament put on by Anglers Atlas and the Canadian Fishing Network through the MyCatch app. I've done many of these tournaments. In fact, I've done 14 of them since 2022. But I fished hard for that. Ended up with 12 species. It was more of a struggle than it typically is, but it was fun nonetheless. And then after the long weekend, I fished in the Bassin for Kids fundraising fishing tournament. It was my third time participating. It was the 37th annual, and it's for a great cause. And what a great time I had. My co-anglers and I did quite well. We finished 30th out of 85 registered boats, good enough for third in the fourth flight. Next year we'll be fishing out of the third flight. So, competition will probably be a little stiffer, and it'll be good. I'm really looking forward to it, even though, it's only been a week. So, but the reason I'm in the boat today is to finally talk about my build on my Princecraft Resorter 160 back troll, or BT. So the Princecraft Resorter 160 BT is a 16-foot boat. It's not all that deep, not all that wide. I'll throw the specs for the boat up here. I have it powered with the Mercury Marine, 40 horsepower with the power trim, electric start, the big handle. It's got all the lights and whatever for oil pressure and all that stuff. It's all included on the arm. And at the front on the trailer, I decided to go with the bow buddy. I looked at the trailer tucks, and the trailer tucks goes all the way back to the rear fenders, and I thought that was a bit overkill, and it's pretty pricey, so ended up going with the bow buddy, which is at the front. And it as you can see, there's mud on it here, so it does protect the boat from mud, rocks, debris coming off the road, whatever. So that worked out really well. I did put the travel cover on it. The travel cover originally goes to the bow and then wraps around the back, and I put the trolling motor on it, so I couldn't do that, so it had to be modified. And Mr. Plore did that for me through Raxfin, through the dealer. And what an awesome result. I had to bring it back a few times for modifications. The first time we kind of ran out of time, and I want to use it on the weekend, so I picked it up, brought it back. We got that finished, and it's really good. He also made me a separate bag for the trolling motor, so that stays protected too now. At the front, I put a ramp and clamp by boat to trailer. So the idea with that is I'm always alone, so it's not always easy putting the boat in the water, putting it back on the trailer. And I'd seen videos of it. There's also a Drado, is the same concept, just different manufacturer. So ramp and clamp is made in the US, not really available in Canada. I got mine on Amazon through Raxfin. But I contacted Boat to Trailer, and they don't have a Canadian distributor, so that kind of goes to show you that there's not too many of those out there. But it's been good. When you back the trailer into the water, you pull the arm, it releases it, and when you drive it back on, it just clips into it, and then that's it. You get off the boat and you pull it out, and then you can put your straps and everything on. The gradient of the ramp has factored into how easy it is to put it in. And one of the challenges I have is because of the trolling motor, I can't really see where the point is. So there's a few times it takes me a couple tries to finally get it lined up and clicked in. But overall, it's been really good. So inside the boat has 3 storage compartments. It has this rod locker, which will hold a 7-foot rod, and it's got a live well. So this is the live well, and it's I don't know how many gallons it is. I'll put that up here. Then we've got this storage, which in this one I've got ropes and my paddle, safety kit, my chargers for both my batteries. This storage has been used up. Move, Callie, move. With the 24 volt, 100 amp hour DC house Life Pull 4 battery. That's to power the trolling motor. And then this one has a few accessories. This is where I put the foot pedal. And then the rod locker, which I've got the Livescope pole mounted to, and I will get to that in a little bit. Moving on to my electronics. So as I've said in previous videos, the area I camp in has a lot of stock trout lakes. And I had a Canon mini troll for my other boat. I used it quite a bit. So since I was going all out, I decided to go with the Canon Magnum 10 downrigger, electric downrigger. So it's got a quick connect, it's easy to remove. I won't be using this too often, but I've already used it a few times. So I have no regrets. I'm glad I bought it. And when I need it, put it on and then I can use it. Moving on to my sonars. So I've got the Garmin UHD2 95 SV and the Livescope. So this graph has my charts, my side imaging, and my 2D. This is typically how I run it. The UHD2 allows everything to be networked. So in the Livescope, which I bought last November, I also have the Echomap 95 UHD2. And both of these are paired together. So as you can see, I'm drawing quick contours with this one, and they're automatically going into this one. So I've said this a few times, I went entirely ArcLab Motorsports and Fabrication for my Livescope. It's in the ArcLab Shuttle. This is the Deluxe Shuttle. It's got a USB plug-in, 2 USB plugins. It's got a 12 volt plug-in. It does have a master power switch. And it locks into the docking plate, which I have a few of these. I have one set up on my sled for the winter. I have another one set up on a mount for my small boat. And these are mounted to the Larmac 360, which the Larmac 360 gives you 360 degrees of rotation in 12-degree increments. So there's a little tick locking it at 12-degree increments. The Larmac 360 is a Canon track, or rail, sorry, and then that slides into the track. So Roxfin had a long piece of track. They got it cut to fit, brought it to a machine shop, got it drilled, tapered the holes. So I have a few of those. I have one on the side and I have one at the front. So I can remove the whole Larmac and the docking plate and move it to the side or to the front. And the idea with that is if I want to fish at the bow, I can have the Livescope in the front. If there's 2 or 3 of us in the boat, it's kind of hard to see the Livescope at the back, so I can put it in the middle and multiple users can look at it, especially when you can turn it one way or the other depending on who's looking at it. I also put this tool tray on there, which is really nice. So I've got my scissors, one pair of forceps, a longer pair of pliers when I'm pike fishing. You can put your lures. I put my drop shot weights in these little trays. Works really, really good. Then for the Livescope pole, I wanted it mounted to my right so that when I'm driving and I'm scanning, I can easily turn. The challenge with that was my rod locker is here, and if I mounted this permanently, you can't open it. So this is the 0 degree plate. And then you've got the ram mount that goes to the pole. And then the original 0 degree plate comes with the adapter that just clamps in. This is an add-on. It's the Hercules handcuff, which is easy to open and remove the pole. And the more tension you put on this knob, the tighter it holds the pole. So that works really well. Now, as for this base, these were custom made by my Uncle Max in exchange for me to take him fishing, which I will do. And the idea here was I can easily, now I'm in some branches here, so this might not slide off as easy as I wanted to because the pole is stuck. Come on. There. See, branches, like I said. So the idea is I can easily remove the pole. That's touching the bottom too. I can easily remove the pole, and then I have access to the rod locker. So that's working out really well. And while we were at it, I said, if we're gonna make one, why not make two? So I haven't decided exactly where I'm gonna put it, or even if I even install it. I was initially thinking of putting on the Livescope lid so that when I'm trolling, everything's in line and I can look back and see the ball, see the bait, see the fish. But if I'm keeping fish and I want to throw fish in the well, then I got to remove the pole every time I want to put a fish in the well. So I'm probably not going to go that route, but I haven't quite decided yet. At the front, we have the Garmin Force Kraken trolling motor. 80 pounds of thrust with 24 volts or 100 plus when you run it in 36 volts. This is a small boat, so I went with the 24 volt battery, 100 amp hour. I used it a dozen times and the light on the motor was still green. Probably 50 hours of use, didn't charge it, and it was still good. It's been amazing. Is this overkill for this medium-sized boat? Absolutely. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm a huge Garmin guy. I've been using Garmin handheld GPSs since 2002, and I've had many of those. So I was going Garmin regardless of price or whatever. Everything was going to be Garmin. So Force Kraken trolling motor, love it. Now the trolling motor comes with the handheld remote, but I do a lot of shore fishing, throwing the bait caster on shore, top water, shallow diving cranks, jerks, whatever. So I bought the foot pedal. The nice thing about the foot pedal is, as you can see, it's wireless. 2 AA batteries, and I can run this thing from the back of the boat, the middle, the front, wherever. So that's been excellent. I also have the Garmin Quatix 7X Marine watch. So this one is solar powered, and I can pair the trolling motor with the watch as well. So I can run the trolling motor from the graphs, which everything is networked together. I can run it from the pedal, from the remote, or from the watch. I've used the watch on a few occasions, Very easy to spot lock if I see something where I want to stop. And when I'm using the pedal, so the remote has your speed, prop speed, all that. But if I'm using the pedal and I don't really see, I can just glance at the watch to see what my prop speed is, what the actual speed is. So it's been pretty handy for that. Just like that, get the trolling motor deployed. Just waiting for satellites now. See, battery is green. As soon as I get satellites, then I can spot lock. Another thing I did with the trolling motor is I put the support, which when the trolling motor is stowed, this gives it a little more support, so it's not just at the base. Usually in bigger boats, this would be in the bottom and it would be supported back here, but we were limited here, so they put it on the nose, and it works. It gives it that, even though it's only 15, 18 inches, it still gives it that extra support. So it's been really good. So as you can see, satellite green, spot lock done. This will keep me on the spot now. Wind, no wind, it's excellent. Another addition that I failed to mention when I originally filmed this video is the sliding seat base. So the Mercury Marine engine does have the capability of offsetting the handle by 18 degrees. That does help. But when you're making those left turns, the handle is still kind of tight to your body, and you've got limited maneuverability. So the idea with the sliding seat base is, if it's centered, you still get the full 360-degree rotation, but when I have it turned, I can back up the seat probably about 8 inches, which gives me that extra space between the handle to make navigation that much more easier. So that's the reason I added it. Well, that is going to conclude this one. Maybe my configuration will give you ideas for your build or modifications to your current boat. But feel free to comment. Do you like what I've done? What would you do differently? I appreciate constructive criticism, and maybe there's something else I can add here that would make it even better. So far, I'm pretty happy with what I've done, but hey, feel free to comment. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one.